Okay, we're back here. So work on this mouse trap a little bit. So the first thing I do is I gotta get this spring up in here. Get this thing kind of put back together a little bit. Let's get the snap ring off of here. Put a little lube on it. Put our rod on there, at least get that part set up where it belongs. Probably have to put the spring on first, but at least get this mocked up, make sure it's where it needs to be. Okay, that actually feels about right. Go ahead and loosen this nut up a little bit. Let's see, I didn't bring a crescent wrench with me. Oh, before I forget, I need to torque. I need to finish my clutch down there. Okay, get that unadjusted a little bit. Okay, I did not torque this tensioner down all the way yet, so I need to get in here and do that before I forget again. You don't want to leave your tensioner loose. It will cause a lot of damage when it comes loose. Okay. Now look how much that loosened up. See, that really loosened it up. Torquing this all in there correctly. Okay, check our free play. I got tight right there. Yeah, we were just in a loose spot, looks like. Yeah, see, we're in a loose spot. That's the loose spot. That's the tight spot, see. 90 degrees from the loose spot. Okay, that's alright. We can live with that. Okay, I'll get back to my rocker clutch. Or not damn rocker clutch. Wish it was a rocker clutch. Mousetrap. Okay, right now this is a little bit bound up. So this needs to come back a little bit. We gotta be careful about hitting fins and stuff. So I do need to loosen it up a little bit and move it. That's going to affect our overall length we had. Okay. So you put it where it lines up with the rod without binding, about right there. Now this can go up and down and do other things too. You got to make sure you got clearances to everything here. Okay. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing on that. This tripod kind of gets in the way of everything. So I'm tightening up the U-bolt here that goes around the frame to adjust where the mousetrap is sitting. If that slides back, it hits the fins in here and can break the fins off. Okay, now this is not binding up anymore like it used to be. Okay. And also now this rod got a lot way too long now. We need to change this back a little bit. And of course this is all frozen up, it figures. And we don't have access to our flat back there to hold it, I don't think. Pretty much no. The chance of getting this thing back out of there is probably not too good either. Alright, so I'm going to have to do something I don't want to do, which is hold it with vice grips. I don't like doing that because it leaves marks. It's not good workmanship having to do that. Put a little bit of lubricant in there to free it up a little bit. Just not to go too. See how it's chrome way back here. Gotta get the muck cleared up. Okay. This is the part I don't like doing. Alright, yeah, definitely don't like doing that. Yeah, it's definitely, that is definitely well frozen up in there. It might be bottomed out too from the rod being too long. It looks like those threads are disappearing as I do this. Yeah. So we just did, this is destroyed. There's no threads left. Alright, yeah, there's a little bit there. Problem with this is pretty damn deep in there. Nah, that's still got threads on there. They're just all gray looking. Problem with this is the rod is almost, it's a little bit on the long side, I guess. I don't want to take any more of that free play out of the clutch, but I might have to. This thing's pretty bad in here. I think it's pretty well bottomed out. That's why it's so stiff. And we'll just see how far to go. Yeah, it just freed up. Yep, whatever happened, it just freed. Got some lubricant where it mattered, I guess. It freed up. There we go. Okay. Yep. Lubricant did its job. Go ahead and do the same thing for this nut. Damn. Throat's getting dry. Damn. Okay, we can go in there pretty deep. Okay. Let's see what we really need. Yeah, we need to be back about there too. Okay, it's free enough. Alright, pop that off. And didn't do too much damage there at least. Did a pretty good job of hiding it. Okay, so now I gotta unadjust it until it'll go on. There we go. Need a little bit of free play. Oh, come on. Tight spot in there again. Okay, a little bit of free play. That's not quite enough. Alright. A little bit of free play right there. Probably another turn wouldn't hurt. Man. Certain amounts of numbers you need to have. Okay, I think we're close there. Let's see. Let's see. Block the camera. First part of doing video editing, you block the camera view. That's a perfect thing to do. Okay. Put a little bit of much needed lubricant on that dry part. This is pretty dry too. Looks like it's supposed to hit it with a Zerk fitting in there. I'm sure that was done once in its lifetime. We just don't know when that was. I'm sure it wasn't this week though. Yeah. I think I put some grease in my grease on here. Definitely got dirt in it. That's a grease gun there, see? Let's see if it's got anything in this thing. Oh, it actually does have grease in it. Oh, I hear it squirting out everywhere over there. Yep, looks good. I use that once about every 4 years. Yeah, there you go. One squirt, good to go. Throw it back on the floor out of my way. Alright, so now we lubricate the pivot shaft there. Get up a little higher, you can see better. I don't think this cable's seen this any lubricant in just about forever. So I'll put a little bit of that in there. I'm sure it needs a lot more than that. A little bit on the cable over here also on the clevis. And this thing's going to be working so free that I'm not going to know what's going to happen. Look at that. Oh, it's really free now. It's pretty good. Okay, then we got this big thing to hook up. So that has to go into there, and that has to go down to there. And it has to go down enough I can get a nut on there. That's why we had to have this rod off. You have to be able to put the nut on the bottom of the clevis down here to hold it. And the rod end. This is more like a rod end down here. Okay, so that adjusts one more part of your thing. Okay, now these things usually adjust them up to about 0 assist. Well, that's nice and free. It's like everything's lacking lubricant. Yeah. Alright, that's good enough for now. Okay, now the reason they call this a mouse trap is because it catches you. It has tension on it. There. It's armed. It comes back pretty quickly. Okay, now you go ahead and put this clevis on it. And there's how it works. Okay. Now we gotta go up here on the top. Way up there, we gotta do some work up here. This is a piece of crap up here. So first thing we need is get a 7/16 and take that piece of crap bolt out of there. And if we're lucky, they didn't do any damage to anything. Looks like it's just laying in there. Yeah, leaving tight. Alright, so it doesn't look like it's been in there very long. It doesn't show much damage. Alright, so now we go down here and look at this thing. Okay, it looks like the hole is still around, which is a big plus. It looks like they got the cable piece put in here correctly, which is a good plus also. It does look like the cable is quite dry, which is not surprising. I'm going to put a little bit of lubricant in here, at least something. Might as well lubricate this pivot here too. Even though it's plastic, it doesn't mind having lubricant on it. There we go. This cable's definitely should be taken apart and that lubricant put down in the damn thing where it belongs. here squirting it. Alright. That just pops in the lever up there. Pops up there. Wipe my hands off. I'm going to get a pivot pin. So I purposely grabbed one of those right here. So there's the correct pivot pin and the E-clips that holds it in, which are nowhere good as circlips. A little dab of grease on it here just to pretend it's lubricated. Alright. Hole lubricated. It's definitely not lubricated. It's first time this thing's ever seen lubricant in its life, I think, up here. It's not the way to make your levers last. You're not watching what I'm doing again. I'm way up here. So he's basically just putting a pivot pin in here and getting it all lubricated with some grease. Okay, put it in there where it belongs. There we go. Go ahead and put the E-clip up in here. I'm a big fan of these things. They are basically easy to put in. It'd be nice if I didn't have a light in my eyes so I could see what I'm doing. It's either too dark or too light. Never what you want. Of course, the pliers I want are not here. Take a pair of duckbills right here and squeeze them in. Yeah. Didn't do a very good job of that. Good job of pinching myself. There, I think one in there that time. Can't tell, I got light in my eyes. There, what do I got? Yeah, it looks like it's in there. It's in there. Alright. Squirt a little oil in there. Okay. A lot of free play. Okay, now we come back down here. Here's your adjuster right over here that you adjust it with. Right there. Of course, it's nice and dry too and rusty, so same deal. Put a little lubricant on it. Looks like it's a 7/16. Yep. ½ inch on the bottom. There we go. Way too much free play in the system. Screw this in a couple turns down here. Pull it back out a little bit. There we go. It's not going over center. It's not hitting that stop like it's supposed to. Doesn't have any free play. A little bit of free play there. It's not going over center. So need a little bit more tension on this. So we crank down this lower nut down here, which stretches the spring, which puts more pressure on everything. So it gives you more mechanical advantage in your favor. It still isn't going all the way back. Getting a little easier to work though. Yeah, there's a bunch of adjustments you're supposed to do. I forget what they all are. Just kind of dick with it a little bit until it works. Can't be that hard to figure out, right? It's almost returning. Definitely getting lighter. It's not going over center though. I don't feel like we got much free play in the system. Do now. So we'll flay up the lever up there. So it's not popping back enough. Shoulder on the lever there. There we go. It's hitting the stop now. Don't have much free play in the system though, but it's working. And we'll take a little more tension out of the thing here. It doesn't quite go over center on its own. It's trying to, but just not quite there. A nice light pull on the clutch. Might have too much assist on it. Actually, it seems to make it worse. All right. Maybe once more. If it doesn't work one way, try something else, right? A little bit of free play in the system up here, so that's good. I'll lock that down. I'm good with this adjustment. You don't play with that unless you play over here. Now I might play with this a little bit, but I haven't decided yet. We don't have much free play in the actual clutch back here. It seems to be working. What happens if we give it a little more free play? Make a little adjustment here. Half a turn. I guess our free plane that we want. Yeah, that helped a little bit. See, now we got our free play in our clutch. We didn't have that. We lost a little bit of free play on the cable. So we'll give it the same half a turn on it. Lock it back down. Not quite enough to pull it. Try a little more tension here. A little bit. That helps it. It likes that. Okay. It wants more tension down here. So you just kind of play with it a little bit until you find out what works. It wants more attention, you give it more attention. Oh, look at that. Now it's really going back. We get our free play on the clutch. We want to have that. Perfect. Okay, tighten that down. Tighten that down. We got that locked down. So it's going back. We got our free play. Got a lot of free play on that. Okay, trying to lock that nut down there. And a little crescent wrench out. So just kind of figure out what works and doesn't work. If it gets worse, you went the wrong direction. If it gets better, you go in the right direction. Doesn't matter what you're doing. Just figure out what it likes and give it to it. So as long as you keep track of what you move, if it doesn't work, move it back. Always put it back where you had it, right? Now you could go read a book how to do that, but whatever. It's all hit and miss anyway. The biggest thing, this thing still has a lot of drag on it. It hasn't been lubricated in a lot of years. That clutch cable up there is pretty damn dry. Okay, so now that's all on there. Looks nice and free. Let's see, I think I locked this down, didn't I? Yeah, pretty much locked. Over this one. There we go. We got cover bolts on here and here. Little cover, chrome cover goes over it. You gotta make sure it clears the fins over here. It looks like it'd be plenty of room. I don't see it getting anywhere near it. So we got a free play on a clutch arm, which we want to have. I probably could use just a little bit more of that too. So if I gave this a little more adjustment here, I'd probably gain a little clearance on that. Where's my screwdriver slot at? There, another quarter of a turn. So that's 3/4 of a turn we moved this. Yeah. A lot more clearance. You gotta be careful how much you do that, because up here you're losing clearances on the top. I might have to take that back out. So up here we got this much free play in the system now. See how much we got up here. Okay, that's how far you go before the clutch even does anything. That's quite a bit of loss, leverage moving. You can see how stiff it is. See, I work with my thumb. Even though I got these springs jacked way on down. So I think I'm going to have to take that out. It's starting to get a little sticky down there too. So I think that quarter turn there is too much. So we're sacrificing too much movement. So I got free play. Okay, we took out half of what we have now. I went back about a third of a turn. So now you got, right there is all it's going. We were going almost double that before, I think. And see, that's what's nice about the mousetrap. You got a lot of mechanical advantage. Because this spring is helping you. We got this thing pulled pretty tight too, so it's doing a lot of work. But this cable's still stinking dry. You can feel it. You can hear it. You know, how draggy it is. So half your effort here would go away if we lubricated the cable better. So I'll tell them to take the cable off and get some lube in there, and or put a new one on there. It's not all rusted. Okay, so we had to get all that done so we can go over here and work with the clutch. So I'm going to keep working this up here like this. We're going to look down here and see how the clutch releases. So it looks like it's coming out pretty even that way. I have to have both my hands to do this. So then I turn the clutch 90 degrees and see what we got the other way. So put that right there. You can kind of see in there. Blow it up a little bit too. Wouldn't hurt maybe. Yeah. Blowing up's the answer. Get the oil out of the way. Okay, you pull the clutch in, rotate it 90 degrees, and check it again. Looks nice and even. Turn it 90 degrees again. Pretty damn nice. Now you can see how easy it is to turn. Yeah, just like that, not much. Starts dragging right there. Now watch it release how much extra clearance I got here. That's how much you got extra. So this thing releases real nice. That's what's nice about a mousetrap. It releases a lot. So you just go up here and you just pull it like this. And you reach over here and it goes, turns. Bingo. Alright, so that's how all that works. Like I said, the clutch cable needs to be taken off and get well lubed or replaced. Put a modern cable under the liner on there, that thing would be just so light, you wouldn't believe it. Better than a new bike. And we got a lot of tension crammed on here too, so it shouldn't slip. Okay, so we got that checked out. So this here can come off. We're done checking that. It's in here tight. Okay, let's do it over on that side. There it goes. See, those holes are pretty screwed up on that thing. That's why I didn't want to come off. Alright. Now I'm not going to seal this thing up because he has to, you got to have access to this to turn the motor over. I did not put the pistons on top dead center. Up here, I don't want to leave the pistons down the hole. Like right now, they're down the hole right up in here. So go ahead and turn this back around a little bit to make sure we're where we belong. Okay, right there. So we got a split overlap. So now The pistons are up so it'll protect the motor when he travels with this thing. This bike's going to Texas somewhere. I'm not sure where part, but these two panheads are going to Texas. He's supposed to come by tomorrow morning and pick them up, or tomorrow afternoon, 'cause I'm not going to be here in the morning. It's morning right now, in case you didn't know. So, I'm going to go ahead and put the cover on here, just so it doesn't get anything in here. Have to dig up all the screws and stuff, but I'm going to wait until tomorrow to do it so he can see what I did in here, and I'll show him some rough stuff in case he doesn't watch the video. You want to make sure you always have that copper thrust washer in there. Make sure it's well greased so you don't lose it, because they are expensive, like $8 a piece. I think they're ridiculous. But anyway, that's the thrust washer, and also keeps the jack shaft from coming out too far, because it just floats in there. Okay, so now I can put the cover on here and put a few screws out to hold it on, which should be good. And he's just going to have to figure out the wiring himself, or he's going to have to wait another day for me to work on it, because we spent too much time today fixing crap. So, let me get rid of this camera stand. And we look at the bike. So I'll just cut the oil line off and hook that up before he takes it. But I'm gonna at least put the oil line on the bike. You know, I gotta close up the motor. He ain't gonna get it right away. I gotta work on it for at least an hour. But anyway, we got this stuff all buttoned up here, obviously. He's gonna have to figure out the cables. So here's the 3 cables here. He's just gonna have to deal with himself. If he leaves the bike, I'll work on it. If he doesn't leave it, then I don't work on it. So it's just whatever he wants to do. These are generator wires hanging over here. So right now it's an open hole, so I have to tape this up for travel. So anyway, that's what it looks like there. Got all the, you know, this side's pretty well buttoned up. So it's past 1:30, and the sun's not up, so you have to figure out what that means. Anyway, this is pretty well good to go. If I had a little more time, I'd get this side here finished up, but it is what it is. So I got everything done I can do for it for now, so it looks pretty good for now. All right, that's it.